just a culmination of the campaign's implementation, but it is also a reflection, accountability, and renewed commitment. So, without further ado, let us begin our program for this afternoon. May I please invite everyone to stand up for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the recital of an invocation.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, selos ng sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa ganagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay ang langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya na pagkay mag-aapi, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us all today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each and every. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
Please take your seats, everyone. Thank you very much. This afternoon, we are honored to be joined by our key stakeholders, our partners for the Committee on Kontra Bigay. So please give me the honor to recognize our partners or our stakeholders. Let me begin by acknowledging our guest from the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Everyone, please welcome ASEC Gina V. Venceslau, General Administration and Support Services Group. Also present today's event is from the Department of the Interior and Local Government, Attorney Joy Olga Rabang. Now from the Department of Education, we have Attorney Tristan Joseph O. Rondolo, Attorney B. And we also have Mr. Dan Paul Santos, EA4. From the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or PICT, we have Engineer Jerry Infeliz. From the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, we have CDC Ian Pabendon, Senior Representative of the Office of the Civil Military Operations. Now from the Philippine National Police, we have Acting Chief Case Monitoring Division, DIDM, Police Colonel Richard R. Fiesta. We also have from DIDM, Police Captain Marina VG Aguyen. From the Commission on Audit, we have State Auditor 3, Audit Team Leader, Comelec Main Office, Ms. Pauline Dayan Urrutia Reyes. Directors and directors, officials, heads of offices from the main office and from the regional offices of the government. Also, we have this afternoon the Committee on Kontra Bigay, our comrades from the Commission, and also our media friends. Once again, to everyone, good afternoon. At this point, to deliver a message, let us please give a round of applause to the Commissioner in charge of the Committee on Kontra Bigay, the action-driven, visionary, Commissioner Ernesto Ferdinandino Sena Jr.
Thank you. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat, Chairman George Erwin Garcia, my brother and sister commissioners, our directors from the main office in the field, partners and stakeholders, members of the media, to people of the Philippines. Magandang hapon po. Today's exit conference of the Committee on Kontra Bigay has a powerful historical parallel because in a few days we are commemorating June 12th, our Independence Day. This is a day that marks our hard-fought freedom and the birth of the Philippine Republic. And we know that freedom is not only about sovereignty from external powers. True freedom must be sustained, number one, by our ability to govern ourselves, number two, by the integrity of our democratic institutions, and number three, by the sanctity of our elections. Now, we've said time and again that fair and free elections are the cornerstone of any democracy. Yet, electoral integrity remains vulnerable. You have vote buying, you have vote selling, and the abuse of state resources. These continue to cast a giant shadow over our democratic processes. This erodes public trust and discourages principled candidates and denies voters the right to a genuine and meaningful choice. This is also why we are here today. What began as a modest task force in 2019 has now evolved into a critical institutional mechanism, one that not only enforces the law, but protects the very heart of our democracy. We thank each and every one of you present, but I believe most is owed to the vision and determination of the whirlwind George Erwin M. Garcia. Umpisa pa lang yan, ha? Marami pa. He who would not allow anyone to give up even in the face of overwhelming pressures, who inspired us by his example and reminded all of the nobility of our cause and the honor in fighting for truth. I am reminded of the stirring words of Macaulay in his epic poem, Horatius. He immortalized the hero who stood on the solitary bridge across the Tiber, alone against the Etruscan hordes bent on sacking the city. And I quote, "Their van shall be upon us before the bridge is down. And if they once should win the bridge, what hope to save the town?" Then outspake brave Horatius, the captain of the gate, "To every man upon this earth, death cometh sooner or late. And how can man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods?" Sabi nga ko ni Joe, Chair, this is you. The 2025 national and local elections marks a turning point for the CKB. Through COMELEC Resolution number 11104, our mandate was expanded to include abuse of state resources. This signaled a commitment to ensure that public office and public funds are never again to be weaponized for personal political gain. The committee's work is anchored not only in national duty, but also in global best practices. We drew from the framework study of Lundstedt and Edgell, affirming that a stronger and more transparent electoral management body significantly reduces both the demand for and the supply of vote buying. And this principle has been central to our strategy, and that is to ensure that our presence is visible, our processes are transparent, and our enforcement is both credible and consistent. Now, to take stock of what we have achieved. As of June 5, 2025, the committee received a total of 1,162 reports and complaints which is a decrease from the 1,226 recorded during the 2022 elections. So, while vote buying remains a persistent and systemic issue, this is indicative of increasing public awareness, enforcement visibility, and a growing fear of consequence. 293 complaints were coursed through our newly activated Regional Committees on Kontra Bigay, RCKBs, an institutional innovation that was not present in previous electoral cycles. The establishment of RCKBs enabled the Commission to decentralize response mechanisms, strengthen local enforcement networks, and facilitate more immediate engagement with concerned citizens on the ground. The top regions in terms of complaints were Region 3, Region 4A, the NCR, Region 5, and Region 1. While the top provinces and highly urbanized cities included Bulacan, Laguna, Camarines Sur, Rizal, and Marikina. And up to now, our regional directors are still debating. If you're in the top 5, does that mean that you had expanded and allowed the discussion of this to go on too much, that there were more complaints? Or if you're not in the top 5, you're better off because less people complain because you were too effective? I will leave you to debate that among yourselves. Okay? But we are all winners here because we lessened the incidence of vote buying relative to the previous national and local elections. As for the nature of violations, vote buying accounted for the bulk of cases. 621 incidents involving distribution of money, goods, and in a few cases, even digital transfers. We saw 277 reports on abuse of state resources, such as the misuse of ayuda, partisan activities by government employees, and the improper use of public spaces and public funds. What does this tell us? It tells us that number 1, traditional vote buying remains widespread. But number 2, the abuse of state resources has emerged as a more insidious and systemic form of electoral interference. It exploits the machinery of government to favor certain candidates, and it blurs the lines between public service and partisan gain. This is why our expanded mandate under Resolution number 11104 is not only timely, but essential. If we are to preserve the spirit of freedom and democratic choice, we must ensure that elections are not tilted by the power of the purse or the influence of public office. In terms of enforcement, the committee issued a total of 329 show cause orders, 138 from the main office, and 191 from our regional CKBs. From those SCOs, 252 individuals submitted answers to explain or rebut the allegations. And after careful evaluation, the committee filed 6 motu proprio petitions for disqualification, including cases involving candidates from Davao de Oro, Nueva Vizcaya, Aurora, Rizal, and Leyte. Also, we received 178 verified complaints via the Kontra Bigay complaint centers, of which 118 have already been transmitted to the Law Department. Additionally, 122 petitions were lodged by private parties directly before the Office of the Clerk of the Commission, 72 on vote buying, and 50 on abuse of state resources. Guided by the rule of law, we remain steadfast in prosecuting violators, concurrently with our partners from the Department of Justice, without fear or favor. Again, none of our enforcement efforts will achieve their full impact without strong public awareness. This year, our media presence soared to unprecedented heights, underscoring that this is a compelling issue that the media and the public are eager to engage with. Print coverage surged by 614%, skyrocketing from 29 articles in 2022 to 207 articles this year. Even more remarkable was our digital reach, which exploded by an astonishing 3,279%, with 623 online news articles compared to just 19 during the last national election. Additionally, interviews featuring committee representatives increased by 48%. These figures go beyond numbers. They represent the thousands of citizens reached The hearts and minds changed and violators put on clear notice. They show that the public is paying close attention, and so are we. As we exit this chapter, we pause to ask, what have we truly learned? Well, first, decentralization is not just a strategy, it is empowerment. The RCKBs gave us eyes and ears on the ground, allowing us to respond right away and effectively. And let me use this stage to thank our regional directors. You were the frontliners of this campaign. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Second, that the abuse of state resources is the new battleground. We've seen how power, when unchecked, can tilt the playing field. Third, the Filipino people are watching, and they are willing to act. Time and again, citizens step forward to report violations, but they will only keep doing so if they trust that we will act on their complaints. So let us never break that trust. As we continue to institutionalize reforms, we begin to see signs that the culture of silence and impunity is giving way to a culture of vigilance and accountability. Finally, the media can be one of our strongest allies. Their voices can help amplify our message, shift the public conversation, and keep the spotlight firmly on those who would dare to cheat our democracy. These are our marching orders. The battle against vote buying, vote selling, and the abuse of public power will not be won overnight. We know this to be true. But with every complaint investigated, every violator disqualified, and every citizen informed, we take one step closer to safeguarding the sacredness of the Filipino vote and fulfilling the true meaning of independence. So as we approach June 12, our Independence Day, let us remember, freedom is not just a gift from the past, but a duty in the present. Democracy is a living trust. Every time we defend the right to vote, free from fear, free from bribery, and from abuse, we honor the sacrifices that won us our freedom. Our work, the work of the Committee on Kontra Bigay, does not end here. It does not end today. It continues in every election, in every barangay, municipality, city, and province, where the integrity of the vote remains at stake. Let this exit conference serve not only as a record of what we have accomplished, but as a solemn promise of what we will continue to fight for. Magandang hapon po at maraming salamat sa atin.
Maraming salamat din po, Commissioner Nased, and congratulations on the success of the committee. You know, we certainly affirm that our strength and efforts truly protects the very heart of our democracy. But before I proceed to the rest of the program, allow me to acknowledge some more of our guests this afternoon. From the DILG, we also have with us this afternoon Ms. Melanie Guito, LGO 07. From AFP, we have Lieutenant Colonel Janelle Eltancho, PA. From the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, we have Attorney Melody S. Fabius. From GCash, we have Ms. Ingrid Beronia, Chief Risk Officer. And we also have Mr. Luquino Santorio from the Regulatory Strategy and Policy Innovation of GCash. Okay, now let us hear the words of our very own chairman, who is dubbed as democracy's miracle man. Everyone, please welcome Chairman George Erwin M. Garcia.
In 2022, nung ako'y na-appoint bilang commissioner ng COMELEC, wala po kasi silang binibigay sa aking committee. So sabi ko, mag-iisip ako ng committee ko para sa akin. Ako na lang nag-isip. So yung naisip ko, Committee on Kontra Bigay. Although noon, noong 2019, may sinigila na sila, pero walang official na committee. So sabi ko, Committee on Kontra Bigay. So tinawag ko committee, binigay ko sa sarili ko. Kasi walang binibigay na committee. Kasama yung Committee on Kontra Fake News. So hindi ko inaakala na yan ay lalaki at pinalaki ni Commissioner Maceda, the Executive Director, Chupisto Ellis. Lahat ng regional directors lang ang senior staff natin at kayo. Ibig sabihin, na-institutionalize na natin yung paglaban sa isang institutionalized na cancer ng ating demokrasya, ang pamimili ng boto. Pero kung meron po isang bagay tayo na dapat tatandaan, ang talagang nilabanan natin itong 2025 na sadyang lumaki, na sadyang tahasan, garapalan at bulgaran ay yung abuse of state resources. Sapagkat mas nakakasuka, mas nakakamuhi yung gagamitin mo ang pondo, gamit, kasangkapan, resources ng pamahalaan, hindi mo man ang gamitin ang sarili mong pera. Bawal na, mas bawal pa yun. Mas immoral yung gagawin mo na gagamitin mo ang pondo ng sambayanan. Pero dahil po sa ating pinagsama-sama na efforts ng committee, hindi pong lahat, ng media, lalong-lalo na rin, na-emphasize natin, ukit natin sa isipan ng ating mga kababayan, hindi nila pera yan. Pera nyo yan. Kaya yung mga kababayan natin, freely kinukuha, tinatanggap ang mga ayuda dahil pera nila yan. Dahil may karapatan sila dyan. At ang ginawa, hindi nila binoto, madami, ang namimigay ng ayuda para sa sarili nilang kapakanan. Sapagkat alam nila, amin yan. Bakit kinakailangan gamitin nyo para i-promote ang inyong sarili? Yun ay dahil lagi natin ine-emphasize na talagang meron kayong karapatan dyan sa mga ayuda na yan.